Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're just going to be talking about some palettes, just enjoying our time together. So if you guys want to talk about some eyeshadow palettes that you might already own, that you might want to send this video off to somebody as a subtle hint for a gift idea for you, then just keep watching. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I love eyeshadow palettes, playing with new eyeshadow palettes, talking about eyeshadow palettes. So if all that sounds good to you, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, you guys. Today you can call me Cupid. I thought it would be so fun to go ahead and talk about some Valentine's-y eyeshadow palettes. Maybe you've been eyeing these, maybe you have them and this is like your friendly reminder to go through your collection and pick something out and play with it again. I just think it's always fun to revisit some of our old favorites, see some new palettes. So I did go ahead and look through my eyeshadow palettes and I picked out a few more than 10. I wanted to do 10, but then I was like, let me grab this palette because it's available at Ulta. So maybe if somebody wants to gift this, you know, I can still pick some that are available. Some of these I don't think you can buy anymore, but I will do my best to find and link everything down below for you guys in case you're interested. Some of those links might be affiliate links, so I may make a small commission, just letting you guys know ahead of time. Also, like these earrings, I just love them so much. I think I got them like 2-3 years ago in one of the Sugar Fix Valentine's collections, so I decided to go ahead and pull them out. Also, disclaimer, I know some people don't like Valentine's Day, and I totally understand. I definitely don't really care that much. I think it's just like an excuse to like love my friends and family just a little bit extra, just like, you know, my husband's getting me flowers, which I'm excited about, and he's gonna get our daughter flowers, which I'm really excited about. Just fun, something to get excited about. So yeah, if you don't like Valentine's Day, that's totally fine. You can skip this video, watch something else. No biggie. Either which way, I hope you're having an amazing day. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it because I've been going on and on and on. Okay, so I wanted to feature some indie brands, some mainstream brands, some brands that you can find at Sephora, some that you might be able to find at Ulta soon. But I wanted to also show you guys like more than just red and purple palettes. So I thought, let's go ahead and talk about the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. This is, I think, my favorite Natasha Denona midi size palette because I love the variety. I love the depth that this palette has. It has some really nice dark tones. It has some light tones and it has a multi-chrome, which I think is super duper fun. I had mentioned, I think when I tried this palette, that if I were to start my Natasha Denona collection all over again, this is one I would repurchase because I feel like some of the older palettes that she started off with, they're okay, but going back, I don't know if I'd buy them. But this one I think I would buy because it has a nice sampling of my favorite things about Natasha Denona. And so yeah, I think this would make an amazing gift if you're looking for an idea for a makeup lover. And if you have this in your collection, consider this your friendly reminder to create a look with it. Okay, next is one from a indie brand, and this is the Sydney Grace Be Mine palette. We haven't talked about this one in a while, but I know so many people love this palette because Sydney Grace makes some of the best indie eyeshadows. Their formula is so incredibly creamy. Let me just give you guys some swatches. And they also have a light version and a dark version, which I love. They do that pretty much with all of their palettes. So this is not like, again, a very obviously Valentine's leaning palette, but as you can see, the packaging is very much on the theme of the holiday. It's not really a holiday, but you know, whatever. This is a cool palette. Again, it has some beautiful mauve pinks, some really nice neutral colors. So this could be somebody's everyday color story, and then you can just jazz it up with some of these shades. This beautiful shade called Flirty. And again, I have nothing but good things to say about Sydney Grace formula. They just have some really buttery metallic shadows. Okay, I have another indie one for you. This is definitely not for the faint of heart, but I thought that this would be a fun one to throw in here because it definitely has a lot of things that I love, which is like multichromes, sparkles, pinks, and a little pop of green. So this is the Cleona Dragon Fruit palette. This was their collaboration with Emily Violet Marie, and honestly, I literally picked this because of how many really fun pinky tones are in this palette. I was pleasantly surprised by this palette because I was like, it's a lot of pink, but every shade has like a subtle difference to it. Also, Cleona is one of my favorite indie brands. They have beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows, and they also have a lot of singles in their stained glass collection. So if you want to get some singles, you totally can. But if you have this palette, I think that you can totally create a very beautiful, fun look for Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm not sure if Unearthly has this palette in stock, but maybe you already own this palette. I definitely went the pink and green route, but I wanted to give you different pricing options. So this one I don't think is as expensive as the Cleona palette, but this is their Milkshake palette. It has some gorgeous shades. I mean, I love a good metallic red, a good metallic pink. This really pretty lilac shade you could kind of pop in the inner corner. There's a beautiful like mid-tone pink shade in here. So this is like totally the vibes for Valentine's. Also, if you're a green lover like me, maybe you just want to do like a fun green look, so you can just use this row, or you could do like the two matte greens with like a contrasting purple on the lid. I feel like there's a ton of fun options with this palette, so I thought I would just throw this in here for like a more affordable pink green indie palette. Okay, here's one I haven't looked at in a hot second. This is the new Romantic palette from Beaute. I don't think you can buy this one anymore, but if you have this, this is again your friendly reminder. I think there are a lot of brands that have done this color story at this point, but what I love about the Beaute palettes is that they have an amazing formula. You get 20 eyeshadows for around $20. And I just think that you can't beat that kind of deal when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. Also, Beaute is a European retailer, so if you are in Europe, it might be easier for you to get a hold of a palette like this. Or, you know, they have a berries palette. They have a lot of color stories similar to this, even though they might not have this exact palette. I do believe this was one of their Valentine's launches, I think maybe in 2021. I can't quite remember, but it's still a really pretty palette, and yeah, I just think it's perfect for this time of year. Okay, so I was like, Karen, you can't just keep picking pinks and reds. So I did pick some neutrals, and then I thought, I always think purple goes really well with like pinks and reds, so I decided to show you guys the Glamlite palette. This is their wine palette. So this was a part of their like cocktail series, I think like 2 years ago. And this is just such a beautiful purple monochromatic palette. I really like Glamlite's formula in this series. So if you guys have been wondering about this, I mean, these palettes have been out for a long time, and Glamlite usually always has a good sale too. So if you've been wanting to pick up a good purple palette, you can pick it up, or maybe it's something you already have, but yeah, I just think this is like a fun twist on, you know, doing the usual red shades, maybe doing something purple instead if that's more in your comfort zone. I mean, I have like a blue eyeshadow look on and I would wear this, you know, to dinner with my husband. I'm not gonna lie. Also, if you are wondering about this look, this video should be up already. I'll link it down below. This is the ODENS and Lauren May Beauty collaboration palette. I think this would have already been announced by the time you're seeing this video. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, if you're interested in shopping that launch, I will link my video with 3 looks from the 3 palettes in the description box for you guys. Okay, next we have the queen of grunge themselves. This is the Gemini 2 palette. Oh, mine is fresh. I forgot. If you guys haven't seen my Gemini 2 video, you'll have to check that out. But anyway, this one is brand spanking new. I don't know if I have the other one. No, because I think they made me send the other one back. But this is such a great palette if you're like into the grungy color story. But there are some beautiful kind of grungy reds in here. And if you want to add some pop, you can pair this with like the Cleona palette. Like, I think that would be so beautiful. Like a really smoky crease with like a really bright pink on the lid could be so, so fun. But yeah, Gemini, just the grungy kind of goth Valentine vibe for you. Okay, I figured I'd give the girlies something a little bit easy to digest as well. So this is the new Nude from Huda Beauty. I feel like I haven't talked about this in forever. This is when she did those like, I don't want to call them, are they marble? They're not really marble. They're like metallics with like big chunks of pearl in them. So they create these like really pretty light tone shimmers. This is such a beautiful palette. Even for like bridal, I think you could really have some fun with this. It's a really nice, just easy everyday palette, but also if you're feeling like a little bit romantic, if you want to put on something pale pink, this is going to be a good go-to palette. And I feel like a lot of you out there have this palette because it's been around for quite some time. So I figured I'd go ahead and throw it in this video. Okay, next we have, these palettes are newer. So, you know, maybe you have them, maybe you have a reason to revisit them now. But the first one I thought would be so fun for Valentine's because it's called The Candy Shop. And this is what it looks like. So again, it has some beautiful metallics in here. I am so excited to see Juvia's Place kind of popping some new products because I feel like they were a little bit quiet towards the middle of last year, but this has some really fun sparkles. And I know that, you know, sparkles aren't everything, but I sure love a good sparkly shadow. So I could really see you guys creating some really pretty pink looks with this palette. And I feel like candy is like such a stereotypical like Valentine's gift. So why not get her the gift of a candy themed eyeshadow palette instead of chocolate? Or you could do both because I mean, listen, I can only speak for myself, but I love it when my husband gifts me makeup. It's just so fun. And it makes me happy because he knows how much I love makeup. It just gets me excited when he gets me makeup. I think gifts is one of my love languages. I really love getting gifts. So yeah, anytime my husband gets me makeup, I get really excited. So I think the candy shop would be a fun one to get as a gift. Okay, and next is a palette that you can't buy, but you might have it. And I feel like so many of you are gonna love using this Valentine's season. So this is the Surrender palette by Unearthly Cosmetics. This was part of their Valentine's mystery box. I will say I definitely prefer the blush palette because you guys know me, I love a good sparkly blush palette. The eyeshadow palette is really lovely though. And I mean, again, I love me a bold red. There's also a nice burgundy. I mean, this is the eye look, okay? You just pop these 3 shadows on and you're ready to go. So if you guys picked up this mystery box, you'll definitely have to let me know. Are you enjoying this palette? Do you regret your mystery box purchase? I personally plan on getting or buying every single mystery box that Unearthly comes out with because I love that they do full-size products that are limited edition. At least that's what they've done the past 2 times they've done a mystery box. So yeah, this was a really fun mystery box in my humble opinion. Okay, we've got 2 palettes left. let's just switch it up and go mainstream. So I thought I'd put this in here more as a gifting option because, like I said, I love getting makeup as a gift. So this is the Tartelette Man-Eater palette, right? The Man-Eater After Dark. Oh my goodness. So I just picked this one, honestly, because it's easily accessible. You can get it at Ulta. You can get it at Sephora. It's kind of a nice giftable product. I mean, holidays, birthdays, Valentine's Day. It just has some beautiful neutral shadows. So it's not exactly like a Valentine's palette, but I definitely wanted to approach it as something that you guys can all pick up quite easily. I should have probably thrown something in here from ColourPop because ColourPop is now available at Target. So that could be fun too because, I mean, I love Target. So like if you're struggling to buy something for somebody, like earrings, some ColourPop, some mascara, like those are fun, like affordable gift ideas. But if you want to get somebody something a little extra nice, I mean, this bottom row, you can definitely create like a beautiful Valentine's mauve look. So I thought I would just throw this in here because it's a very, very nice palette. And yeah, Tarte's been doing some good things this year so far. And, you know, kudos to them. Okay, last but certainly not least, I had to mention the Nomad palette. I know this one is pretty new, but it's so cute and it's such a perfect theme. Verona, Valentines, Romeo and Juliet, like give it to me. So I wanted to mention it. Obviously, you can go with the very obvious love side. I personally love the death side. I mean, I would just buy the death side as a 9-pan palette. Like this is so beautiful, and I'm not even that big on cool tones, so I knew I loved that palette when I was just like immediately wanting to put the cool tone section on my eyes. I just think it's such a beautiful color story, and I'm so impressed with Nomad and how creative they got with that palette. I also want to let you guys know, I did let you know in my January ranking video, but just in case you guys didn't see, Nomad did say that some people were having trouble with the metallics. So if you are having trouble, please reach out to them because they will replace, I think they're replacing the palettes for people that are having trouble with the metallics at no extra charge, which I think is so nice of them. I definitely did struggle with my metallics. You can see me kind of struggling in the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep the original. If you did like pay money for this palette and you don't like the metallics, or they're not working as you expected, I would reach out to them because you can get it replaced so you don't have to suffer in silence. So that is my last pick for Valentine's and Valentine's palettes that you might already have that you want to play with some more, or just like neutral palettes that remind me of the season of love. Like I said at the start of this video, if you don't like Valentine's Day, that's totally fine. You don't have to. I just think it's a fun, cheesy holiday to celebrate the people in your life. I mean, you should celebrate them every day, but it's always fun when there's an extra excuse, and I love pink and red, so I'm all about it. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye, guys!